we're going to read here where the Apostle Paul is preaching to the Jewish people. And he's telling them, listen, we are the ones to whom God has given the truth. And the truth was prophesied in the Tanakh that a Messiah would come. And the Messiah has come. His name is Yeshua, in English, Jesus. We're going to read here where Paul is talking to the people of Israel, the Jews, starting Acts chapter 13 and starting at verse 16. Men of Israel and God-fearers, listen. The God of this people, Israel, chose our fathers. He made the people great during the time when they were living as aliens in Egypt. And with the outstretched arm, he led them out of the land. For some 40 years, he took care of them in the desert. And after he had destroyed 7 nations in the land of Canaan, he gave them their land to his people as an inheritance. All this took about 450 years. After that, he gave them judges down to the prophet Shmuel. Then they asked for a king, and God gave them Shaul ben Kish, a man from the tribe of Benjamin. After 40 years, God removed him and raised up David as king for them, making his approval known with these words, I found David ben Yeshai to be a man after my own heart. He will do everything I want. In keeping with his promise, God has brought to Israel, this man's descendants, a deliverer, Yeshua. Now, before the coming of Yeshua, Yohanan proclaimed to all people of Israel an immersion in connection with turning to God from sin. But as Yohanan was ending his work, he said, why do you suppose I am? Well, I'm not. But after me is coming someone, the sandals of whose feet I am unworthy to untie. Brothers, the sons of Abraham, and those among you who are God-fearers, it is to us that the message of this deliverance has been sent. For the people living in Jerusalem and their leaders did not recognize who Yeshua was or understand the message of the prophets read every Shabbat. So they fulfilled that message by condemning him. They could not find any legitimate ground for a death sentence. Nevertheless, they asked Pilate to have him executed. And when they had carried out all the things written about him, he was taken down from the stake and placed in a tomb. We read here that Yeshua is the promised Messiah, and the people of Israel in Jesus' time didn't recognize that he was the Messiah. And it's the same today. You may be a Jewish person and you don't realize Jesus is the Messiah promised by the prophets. He is the one in whom I should put my faith for salvation. I encourage you, trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. Put your faith in him and you will be saved.